Kathy's chicken cordon bleu with buttered broccoli and baked potatoes in a rich gravy mushroom sauce. Hello, friends. Are you ready?
What's for dinner?
I'm hungry.
Yum, 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 yum.
Delicious.
Let's go, everybody. Yay! Oh, gosh. Am I on?
Yeah. Camera, lights, action.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner. Yay! We have a guest. It's a special day. So next to me, I have my very, very, very good friend, Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, everybody. So happy to be here.
Thank you for being on my show.
Thank you for sharing your kitchen with me.
Oh, yeah. My small, tiny kitchen. So we have stuff everywhere. We've done a lot of prep to start the recipe. So if you guys have questions about the prep, we are going to show you just the prep for the chicken. But for example, we have sliced up mushrooms. Okay, so if you want to, for me to show you how to slice up marshmallows.
Ooh, that's a whole different treat.
Yeah, so this is Zoe mixing up her words again, and so we'll be giggling a lot. If you want me to show you how to slice up, for example, what are they? Mushrooms. I do the tips, tricks, and how-tos. Send me an email, send me a message, and I will be happy to do so. And since I mentioned it, you can reach me at zoesblindkitchencorner@gmail.com, or you can message Victor Gouveia at whoseblandlifeisitAnyway@gmail.com, and he'll pass the message on to me. And of course, you can comment in the section below. So Kathy, my dear friend who was kind enough to honor me with her presence, is actually going to teach me today her daddy's recipe,
Yeah,
right?
my dad's, yeah.
Yeah, so her dad's recipe. Kathy is of Greek background.
This is an Italian meal, though. My parents had an Italian restaurant growing up.
Right, but you were born here, right?
But I was born here, yes.
And dad is from Crete?
Dad is from Crete.
And mom?
Athens.
Athens. So mom is from the capital of Greece, and dad is from the beautiful island of Crete, which is the southernmost tip of Greece, and it's an island to die for. No, I haven't been there, but I'm dying to go. If there's one place in Greece I want to visit, if somebody was to tell me,
When I make millions,
yeah, you're gonna
I'm
fly
buying
me.
you a ticket to Crete.
No, you're gonna fly me there with your private jet.
That's right.
So if somebody was to tell me you only have one trip left in your life for Greece, but you can only pick one place to visit, I truly would pick Crete. So you can read up on it on the net. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful island. Not that Athens isn't beautiful. My husband's from Athens. So we're not dissing Kathy's mom's city, because my husband's from Athens. Athens is beautiful as well. And like I said, Kathy was born here, but you speak Greek, right?
Yeah, I'm used to visit Greece a lot.
There you go. So her dad had a restaurant, so she has a few recipes up her sleeve. So hopefully we can convince her to come back on the show and show us some more stuff. Now, she just mentioned that her dad had an Italian restaurant. That's not to say that we don't love Greek food. But, it's nice to get away sometimes and do something different, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to do the chicken
Cordon Bleu.
Chicken cordon bleu. And actually, guys, I have to tell you that even though I've been cooking for 30 years, this is something I've never done. And I've never done any recipes with butterflying chicken. So Kathy was nice enough to, and is nice enough to teach me. So if I can learn they say you can't teach old what is it? Old dogs, new tricks. Well, guess what? Yes, you can. Because I feel confident enough now that I could do it on my own. Anyhow, so let's get to our ingredients. Actually, did you want to say anything?
No, I'm really excited to be here.
Yay. Okay. And it took me a while to get her on the show, not because she didn't want to, just because of her busy schedule. Kathy's a teacher by trade, and she, has a nice big, large Greek family, and she's got lots of things happening in her life, so it took a while, but, good things come to those who wait. Alrighty, so give me 1 second. Okay. Depends on how many people you're cooking for, but this is what we're doing today. You can always have the recipe, okay? So you need 8 large chicken breasts. Now, if you're following this recipe and you're blind, get your butcher to trim the fat off your chicken. And the chicken breast should be boneless, skinless. So 8 large skinless, boneless chicken breasts trimmed of fat. 2 or 3 cans of 398 ml of brown gravy.
And if I can be true to my father, he never used canned. He always made his own stock. But, this is
Kathy's shortcut.
Kathy's house. Not Daddy's
Yeah,
house.
so in other words, if you want to make your own gravy, by all means go ahead. But if you want to use Kathy's shortcut,
Yes.
buy the 3 cans of brown canned gravy.
Exactly.
Now you need a splash of marsala wine. We're going to say about a teaspoon for each batch of chicken and gravy. And what we mean by that, we'll show you as we're doing it. You need 8 slices of mozzarella cheese. Slice, right? Did I say that? 8
Yes.
slices of mozzarella cheese. 8 slices of prosciutto, smoked prosciutto. We need 16 ounces of sliced up mushrooms. 8 pads. We don't have them out here because we don't want it to soften up right now. 8 pads of salted butter. Enough flour. I just have flour in an aluminum cake pan. So enough flour to comfortably coat the chicken. And vegetable oil, enough to coat the bottom of a frying pan. If it's a little more, it's okay. You're gonna brown your chicken. And we've also done baked potatoes. They're already ready. And these ones are just plain. So they're small potatoes, and we've washed them. We pierced them with the fork. Sorry, hold on. We pierced them with the fork, and we wrapped them in tin foil and put them directly on the lower rack in the oven, and we baked them up for about 45 minutes. So when we open these up, we're going to cut them in half, and people can add butter or the gravy or whatever they want on top. But we're also going to do broccoli. So we got 2 bunches of broccoli, and we cut them up into large pieces, not into florets. So you want a stem with, 3, 4, 5, 6 florets on it. Okay? So we've got the broccoli ready. And for the broccoli, you're going to need plenty of water, about a half a teaspoon of sea salt, and 30 grams of salted butter, which is 1/8 cup. Okay, so that's our ingredients for today.
Oh, and eggs.
Oh yeah, I forgot the eggs.
Yeah, and the eggs we'll use to, after we coat the chicken with the flour, we'll coat the egg.
Yeah, so 4 eggs. We're using 4. You may need 5. right? You may
Yeah, you
need
might
3.
need
You don't
3,
know. Because when we say 8 large chicken breasts, well, it's different for everybody, right? So, and we're preheating our oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're gonna need a frying pan that's safe to go in the oven. Okay? And I do have one. So cast iron is really good for that. But if you don't have cast iron, mine are non-stick, but the manufacturer says that they can go in the oven. I actually can't remember if it's 400 or 450, but it doesn't matter because we're cooking at 400, and I know 400 is safe for these particular pans.
And if you don't have a pan, you can always just put it in a baking pan and heat them in the oven and then put them back in the pan.
Exactly. And we'll mention that again.
All the juices in the pan.
So now Kathy has already butterflied the chicken. She's pounded the chicken, and she's actually already rolled up the chicken with the prosciutto and cheese. And but we've left 2 chicken breasts so we can show you guys how to do it. So I'm just gonna move the rolled chicken somewhere. Okay? And we have a cutting board, we have a meat mallet, and we have a knife, and we have 2 chicken breasts. I'm just gonna take the one away so Kathy can work with the one. And Kathy is gonna show you guys. Let me grab a napkin to put this chicken breast on. Okay. So I don't know if you're good at describing. Do you want me to kind of?
I can describe this one. And then, okay, so basically you want to look to see if there's any natural openings to the chicken. So you can see here that there is this little piece of chicken, and I didn't notice this, so let's cut that off. That little skin. So now you can see it's really thick over here and thinner over here. So you're going to slice it a little bit to kind of open it up, and you're going to kind of manipulate it where now you're cutting through the middle of the thicker piece of it and start lifting it open. And you kind of can play it by ear and keep noticing, like here you can see I'm cutting it a little off to the side just to get as much of that chicken opened up as possible. So now we got a really, one piece of chicken breast just expanded. Larger size. You want to try?
No. Yeah. Okay. I'll do the other one. So just
yours. I'll just hold this and wait.
Okay. So my description of the chicken. So we have the underside, and Kathy's gonna guide me. We have the underside where that flap is hanging. Mm-hmm. There's always a flap on the chicken breast because they've removed the bones and everything, right? And then if you turn it upside down, the flap is underneath, and you've got that big, thick, oval, vertical piece of chicken. So Kathy flipped it. Does it matter if I go this way?
It's whatever way you're comfortable cutting. I'm left-handed, so
yeah.
I like to cut.
That's right. So I'm going to do it this way only because the thin part, which is almost feels like a chicken finger, the size of a chicken finger. It's kind of hanging at the edge. So just put that to the side. You don't need that. You want to deal with the thick part of the chicken. Now, this is the thickest part of the chicken, the part that's closest to me. This part down here where the chicken finger part is attached is thin. So you're not really going to try to open this part up. You're going to try to open up this thick part. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you play with it. So depending on the thickness of the chicken, you can manipulate.
So I would start, I would say, here.
Yeah.
Yeah? So.
You could even go a little bit lower in the middle part more, yeah.
There?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I laid the knife flat, vertically, and Kathy told me to go a little lower, so sort of towards the middle of the thickness of the chicken. And with your other hand, you're going to hold the chicken in place, but don't put your hands too close to the blade. And you're going to, I don't have strength. And this knife isn't that great. You're going to slice a little bit through. And then, see, I can actually pull a little bit open. But I'm going to keep going.
And you might want to lift your knife up to like manipulate where you're feeling it. So as you go, keep cutting and like opening and cutting. So yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, and cut down there because you could feel that it's giving
Yeah.
you resistance and there's thickness.
Yeah, so closer to that edge, there is a little bit of thickness, so I'm cutting it. And what Kathy just said, you really got to do this a few times to get used to it. Because it's our first time as blind people. So, you feel the thickness and pull. But see here, it's not opening properly for me because I don't have Kathy's experience. So what I'm going to I'm going to turn it.
Yeah, and you can just slice it straight down sometimes to allow it to open up more. Like you can even slice straight down a little bit to help you to open it. It's just manipulating it.
Yeah, I kind of screwed that up a little bit.
Didn't. No, let's see. You're doing good. Now, what I would do is now feel this chicken, right?
Yeah.
You can feel there's thickness. So
Here,
hold on,
so
let me
open
show
this up too, right?
But you can even go on a down slant. You don't have to go sideways, see?
Okay, yes.
And then...
So
peel it.
what Kathy did is, where there's still a thick part of the chicken on the edges, she put my hand on the thick part and she had me slice slightly and pull. But my only concern, Kathy, is it opened up here. Does it matter?
It's okay. We'll flatten it all together.
Yeah. And this part's like, this part's down and this part's over it.
Yeah,
so
that's okay because this will be open. This
Yeah, it'll
is a nice
flatten.
open piece.
yeah. And it's a little thick here, but then that'll flatten with the meat
but
mallet,
even-
right?
Let me show you something. So even though, see how you feel this little hole now and you feel this thickness?
Yes.
What you could do is just cut some of that
Let me see what-
chicken.
That way, okay,
right? And then, watch your fingers. And then open it up there. And now feel that. Now I covered that hole.
yeah. Yes.
When you mallet it, you'll be able
Yes.
to kind of make it one piece. So, you do
So
your
basically,
best.
but it takes a little bit of practice, guys. So I'm going to get Kathy now to pound the chicken. And you're going to pound with not the flat side. You're going to pound with the side that's got the prickly bumps. And when you pound, you're going to pound hard, but you're going to also, when you pound, how do we explain to them? You're going to kind of swoop. So I'm pounding with my right hand. I'm going to pound and swoop to the left. Pound and swoop to the left because you want to help it. You want to flatten it, but open it up.
And yeah, you want to flatten.
And now I screwed this one up so there's a hole. But you know what? We're going to fix it. It's not a big deal. And if we lost one chicken breast, oh well, because that's my first time.
We didn't.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to get her, Kathy, to pound.
Okay. So when I pound it, when I hit it, it's kind of going outward. And then we'll get this little other extra piece. You want to do the other one?
It's okay, you do it.
Me do it? Okay.
I'm going to practice on my own off camera. I'm sure I can do it, but I just want to practice it.
Yeah, take
It's my first time butterflying chicken. I never had to do it. And,
well, I hope this becomes one of your favorite meals.
you know what? I'm a little bit nervous about doing something new on camera. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Are you going to flip this one or not? Because that one I screwed up.
No, this is the other one I did.
Oh, are you going to flip it? Are you going to
it's
pound it on the
good.
other side as well?
No, that's okay. One side's flat enough, yeah.
But you did do some of them
Some
on
of
both
them
sides.
I did on both sides, but I think it'll cook better if I don't do it on both sides.
Okay.
So I'm fine with that.
Okay, so do the other one as well. So
I did them both. They're both.
Oh, okay. So, what do we put on here first? The prosciutto or
It doesn't matter.
the cheese?
Yeah.
So we've got cheese slices.
Down one. Yeah. And we said one piece of prosciutto, but this prosciutto's pretty thin and we have 4 slices, so why don't we put 2 pieces of prosciutto in each one? But it
Okay.
doesn't matter.
So where would you put it? In the middle
in
here?
the center, yeah.
Okay, so a slice of mozzarella cheese and
Might as well put 2. We did 1 for all the other ones, but what are we gonna do with 2 slices of prosciutto? One for me and one for you. Cameraman gets none.
Okay, so 2 pieces. Would you just
You
over
fold
the
it maybe
oh.
fold it a little so it's not sticking out of the chicken top.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so fold it to fit in the center of the chicken and on top of the cheese.
Yes.
How's that?
Yes.
Okay, now what?
Now you take this side piece.
Yeah, you take the chicken finger piece, even if it's separated from the whole chicken, this one's separated. You're gonna put it on top of the prosciutto and cheese, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you're gonna taco fold it all.
Taco fold it. One side over
Yeah.
and other side over.
Exactly. And then I would just like close it up a little bit and just whatever. Just
Close
squeeze
the
just
sides,
squeeze it.
maybe even.
Yeah, sometimes you can do that. Sometimes it depends on
So she's telling me to pull, tuck in the ends if possible.
and just like give it a little squish so
Yeah.
that it's like
Excellent. So this one is ready. We'll put it with the other ones.
I'll trade you. Here's the next one.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Sure. You're a professional.
Now, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, this one's gonna be harder for me because this one
Okay.
is the open one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this our chicken finger piece?
No, here's our chicken finger.
Ah, there it is. Sorry. Mistake. I did a mistake. So this one is the one with the hole in it. So
So
we
I
got
would put the prosciutto down before the cheese.
Yeah, so that way.
It'll lock.
And I'll actually put 2. Where's the hole? There's the hole. We'll cover the hole. Because Zoe screwed up, but
You didn't screw up.
okay, and a piece of cheese on top.
And there's a paper on it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 papers on that cheese.
There's 1. 2. Okay. Put the cheese on top. Put your chicken finger piece on top, right?
Yeah.
And now we need to
Now,
fold
what
it.
I would do, rather than folding
This
it from
one,
this
yeah.
side, I would fold this side only because of the, and give it a little wrap around. Nice. Yeah, you could do them as a roll-up. You could actually flatten it really well and make them rolls too, right?
Well, I did this one this way only because of the prosciutto, because of the hole. That's why I did it this way. And there's the hole right there. Do you think we'll have a problem?
It's perfect. No, because the egg and the flour will. Or you know what? If that's the one that explodes, then we know. But I think it will be fine. The egg and the flour will.
Okay.
hold
Put
it
this
all
one
together.
there. Okay. We don't need the cutting board anymore, so let's get it, whoops, out of our way. And we don't need the knife. We don't need the meat mallet. We don't need the plate that had the prosciutto on it. So, our oven is preheating, and we've got vegetable oil.
And I need to crack these eggs.
Yeah.
Shall I?
And you want that shallow, you got
I
the
have
shallow?
the bowl. Yeah.
Right, so Kathy's gonna crack 4 eggs into, it's really a salad bowl, but not a really big one. But enough because these chicken breasts are large. You're gonna beat those eggs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Not too. You don't want to beat them too much. When you're doing this, you don't want to turn them into like. You want to just beat them enough that the egg yolk and the white is a little mixed, but you don't beat it all the way.
Yeah,
It
you don't want
changes
them
texture.
frothy.
Yeah, you don't want it frothy for sure. Okay.
So, and next to the eggs, we have the pan with the flour. Kathy's beating the eggs, and
Just like that.
we're also going to put some vegetable oil in the frying pan. Where do you want your heat?
We should heat the pan first.
And then add the vegetable
And then
oil?
add the
Okay.
oil. It's always a good idea to heat your pan first.
And where are you heating it to?
I am putting it to 8, which is, I guess,
8, yeah, okay.
medium
Almost high, yeah.
Almost high.
Yeah.
And we turn it down after, but just for that initial seal to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And then
is this a recipe your kids enjoy?
No, my son would, because he eats everything. Here, I'm putting the chicken in the flour. My son would. My eldest daughter would. The middle daughter, I don't know. She's not too.
So now you're coating the
now
chicken.
I'm coating the chicken and I'm punching it down a little bit, so that
Right.
just not
So that
not punching, but just pressing
You're just
it
pressing
down,
it
that
down
it's
so the
all
flour
pressed
can
together.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that there for a minute and get the next one. Opa.
So Kathy's dipping the chicken into the flour and she's pressing it down slightly so that the flour can stick
Seal this up.
to the chicken because she's making a seal for the chicken so our cheese doesn't run out of the chicken.
Yeah, no
run away.
No runaway cheese. So we'll wait for, okay, the oil.
How much oil would you put? Just a sprinkling, I guess.
Enough to coat the bottom
Yeah.
of the pan for sure. Like, you want it to, it is a fried dish, you know.
Now when Kathy
Even
is
a little layer to coat the bottom, like, you know, like maybe, what is that, 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters, maybe?
okay, so
something
about
like
half
that.
a finger's worth, I
Yeah.
would say, like half the width of your finger,
Yeah,
maybe a little.
yeah, about that.
So Kathy is sighted, so obviously when Kathy fries things up, she doesn't use a timer. She looks at it. It
Yeah.
says this is brown enough and flips it. But I'm gonna timer today. I would say, guys, that you're safe frying your chicken about 5 to 7 minutes on each side. So we're kind of waiting for the oil, I guess, to heat up a little bit. And she's dipped her chicken and coated it with flour. And now she's gonna dip it in the egg mixture.
Yes. And then you kind of flat it off, so you let some of it come off, like you touch the chicken to the side, so it's not a whole bunch of egg. And then you can test your oil and see if it's ready. It's not ready because it's not sizzling yet.
Right.
So I'm gonna wait for a minute. Typically, you shouldn't leave your food in the egg mixture, but it's okay for right now. It's not like we're leaving it in there for a long time.
And I'm gonna coat one just to get the idea. I'm gonna let Kathy do the rest, but I'm just gonna coat one to get the idea of how it's done, and she can guide me. I'll just grab one.
And there's still one in the pan.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
So I put the chicken in the flour like this,
Yeah.
and then press down.
And then turn it first.
Turn it.
And then press down on your flour, and then turn it again, and just make sure, give it a little push, yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Perfect.
And then how do you do the egg part? Because you were
So
giving
then,
some
let me
instructions.
Take this out. So you put it in both sides of the egg,
So like this,
yeah.
flip, like
Flip,
this.
Yeah.
Now what?
And now you slide it on the side so that the egg isn't, but you want to hold your chicken closed.
Oh, yeah, it's
You
slipped.
can't see me. No, but you can't see me. I'm
No,
actually
you know
working
what,
on
though?
holding it.
It slipped out of my hands because the egg is so gooey.
Here
Yeah,
it goes.
so guys-
I'm putting it in.
Make sure you don't have your chicken open up like I just did. Okay? Hold the seal closed. So what do we do with this now?
Now
Is
you
it-
put it in the.
Yeah, but is it
patty.
closed?
Yeah, it's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, it looks good.
I'm
I
sorry.
feel like I might
See-
put it on high for now because it's not even that hot. Let me put it on high for
So I
now.
want to tell you guys, this is the wonderful part about cooking blind with a sighted person.
I learned
and-
a lot about what I take for granted. I'll tell you
Ha.
that.
So actually, Kathy, maybe it's the teacher in you.
Maybe.
You're a very good instructor.
Thank you. Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank
So she's instructing me, at least for me, my blindness. She's instructing me exactly how I want to be instructed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so sometimes if I ask, you can do, so does that pan fit more than two?
There's 3 cooking in there. I don't
Oh,
think
okay.
there could be more than
Hold on,
3.
let me time it. Let's see if about 5 minutes would be good. 5. Okay. So sometimes when I ask a sighted person to show me something, well, one, they don't use their hands, and 2, they don't give me proper descriptions. So right now, when you were teaching me how to butterfly,
Yes.
I didn't have to tell you. You said put your hand here so you can feel how the chicken feels and feel where the knife is.
Yes.
Nobody else does that. You're the first person to say to me, put your hand here. Well, you know what? I
I
shouldn't.
know what you mean. You're just saying in general.
My husband sometimes is good at that as well. Because I just felt bad because I'm like, he has in the past said, give me your hands and I'll show you what I mean. Because he's not very good at describing. In your case, you're really good at describing verbally and with your hands.
Oh, good.
So I got
I
it.
feel so comfortable with you. You're very receiving, right? So that's a big deal for learning together is that people are willing to receive.
You've got egg on your hands, but we're hugging now. So there's 2 blind
Don't
women
worry, I'm
hugging with one's got egg all over her and the other one is sweating buckets.
But I'm like pushing my hands out like claws and not touching you. They're facing the wall. So okay. Let's see how this chicken looks. Now, do you have tongs for me to be able to peek in on them?
Yeah.
And should we start the other pan? Since we're making so many.
If you can, you'll have to use that back burner because the front one is small.
Okay.
It's up to you. Would these do?
Perfect. So, you don't have metal ones? I like metal ones.
I don't. I
Yes,
don't.
you do.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See?
As long as I'm allowed to touch your pan with these. I'm gonna peek
Yeah,
under
you're
here.
not supposed to.
I won't touch your pan a lot. Maybe I should take the plastic ones. I don't want to ruin your...
Yeah, non-stick pans are not
You
allowed
can
to
see
put
it's
metal.
still white.
They
so
react.
that's
So maybe we should use this.
good.
Oh,
Okay.
can I just touch it with my hand because it's got flour on it?
Okay, it's gonna have more. So now I don't know how to describe it to you because when I just lifted a piece up, underneath you can see that it's white still. Like it has a
Yes,
little bit of a
it's not
browning
browning,
coat, but
yeah.
it's not brown
Well, that's
yet.
why I said I'm going to time you because my experience tells me for browning meat, you need at least about 7 minutes per side.
Yeah.
They
So
haven't
you
even
can-
been in for 2.
Yeah. Well, what I might do though is I'm gonna flip it now so that the egg gets cooked on this 8 heat, on the medium-high heat, and then I can turn it down a half a notch
Right.
for it to keep cooking. So
Okay.
I'm gonna flip them now, these guys, because
So basically, Kathy's flipping them after about 2 minutes because of the egg.
and you have to be careful when you flip them. That like I'm more rolling it around because you want to make sure that it doesn't break open now,
Right.
What? It looks so good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It looks like perfection. Like I wouldn't anticipate it looking so good. You know, typically my dad makes this with veal. But I just buying veal and cutting veal and banging the veal. The chicken I really like because it's so soft, and he puts hot prosciutto in it, but I thought the smoked prosciutto would be really
So
nice
you're
with
saying-
the chicken. So I've adapted it a little bit.
So are you saying that the veal it's a tougher cut of meat, it's tougher to butterfly?
No, I like the chicken, and it's easier to buy chicken for me. I feel like where am I gonna? I mean,
Oh,
it
okay,
would be
okay.
easy too, but just the color is so different. When you use the veal, it's a dark color, but right now it just looks like this beautiful, like brown, but not brown, like cream-like. It just looks so pretty. It looks pretty. It looks pretty. I'm so excited. I don't cook very often for people.
So
Not that I
thank
don't
God
like
you
to,
have
but-
Zoe,
Right?
who has Zoe's blind kitchen corner, because that way you get to cook.
Exactamundo. Exactly.
So they've been in there for 5 minutes. They're already starting to smell up. But 5 minutes isn't enough, as I said. I think you need the full 7 minutes at least.
Yeah, for sure. And also they're going to bake in the oven. Because these are really big pieces of meat. With the way that they're all rolled up with the chicken and the chicken. So the oven will guarantee.
So now I've set the timer for another 3 minutes because I thought about what Kathy just said. They're really large. These chicken breasts are really large.
Yes.
And because we've, as she said, we folded them and rolled them, so it's almost like having a really thick piece, really thick piece of meat.
It's like heavy, it's thicker than a steak, really.
Exactly. You know what, guys? I wouldn't worry about it so much. You could always use a meat thermometer in the oven to make sure the chicken is done. A safe level for chicken is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Are you flipping them again?
I just put the 2 into the other.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm just timing the first ones. I think, you know what? I think we might even need more than 8 minutes.
Or what we can do is, once they get the nice color on the outside, we can just put them in the oven for longer. We could put them in the oven for 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I do have a meat thermometer if we need to use it. Of course, sighted people will pierce the thickest part of the chicken and see if the liquid runs clear. That's one way of doing it.
But how do you see if the liquid runs?
That's what I'm saying. Sighted people would do that.
sighted
I
people.
wouldn't do that.
No, what
I
would
would
you
use
do?
a thermometer.
Ah.
Right? So a meat thermometer, if it says that it's 165 or 172, you know, whatever, it's done. You don't want to go too much over 165 because then your chicken's going to dry out. But a good temperature is 165. It's a safe temperature that's recommended by whatever, the American Food and Drug Association.
American girl? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't remember the Canadian name for it.
Yeah, no, neither do I.
Yeah, so
the
they're
food handler people.
the food handler people. I like you.
I'm gonna lower this. I'm gonna notice if the first batch. I'm gonna look on the bottom to see if it's gotten the caramelizing color. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's the same as the top right now, but I'm gonna just lower it and let it.
So you're
cook
gonna go
slower.
to where?
I'm
7?
gonna go to 7.
Yeah, so
Just
medium
let it
high.
cook. Yeah.
So maybe for the first 8 minutes on a little higher between the medium high. So on my stove, number 9 is the high, number 8 is between medium high and high, and she just put it to medium high after 8 minutes. So, you know, guys, if you wanna, I doubt you're gonna burn your chicken. Did you turn them now?
I just turned the second batch.
Not the first batch.
No, the first batch I've only turned once,
Yeah.
and now I turned down the heat on that same side. I don't want to flip it so many times. I
Right.
want to let it cook. And
It's, the only thing I'm thinking of is seeing side down, you only cooked it up for about 2 minutes. And then you flipped it and it's been cooking on the other side for like, you know,
okay,
6,
let's
7
give it
minutes.
another flip. This doesn't hurt to keep flipping it.
I'm not saying flip it constantly, but it sounds to me uneven, like 2 minutes on the first side and then, you know, like 7 minutes on the other side.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I think that now you flipping it, we shouldn't flip again.
Yeah,
That's my
it.
opinion.
Yeah, and we can just put them straight into the oven.
Yeah. And even if you guys leave them frying even up to 15 minutes, you're still safe.
Yeah.
You're still safe. They're not going to burn, pardon me, because it's a really thick cut, rolled up piece of meat. So, as soon as Kathy's ready, she's going to put the, pardon me, what's it called?
Chicken?
The frying pan with the brown chicken in the oven, and we're going to put it in for 20 minutes. We're going to check on it in 20 minutes.
And
It
I just
might
thought
take-
of something. We need a container to pour the oil, because this oil we're going to discard before we put it in the oven. I never told you that part.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
How about we just use a pan for now, because I don't know where containers are.
Okay, okay.
So I'll just grab a clean pan that we can wash later. So you're gonna pour out the excess oil before you put it in the oven, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what? I'm having second thoughts. Maybe we should get. I know we had a plan, Zoe, but I don't always follow my plans. Maybe we should, instead of, because with my father's restaurant, because he would be serving people the food. He would use the pan, put it in the oven, take out the pan, and serve the people. But because we're making way more chicken, and the pans don't all fit, should we put them all in one big pan and just bake them?
It's up to you.
Yeah, let's just put them all. Do you have a big pan that would fit all of these so we can bake them?
Okay, hold
Okay.
on.
Want to help?
Okay. I don't know, with this foot? This black one?
This is the same one. Yeah, yeah. I'll use the one that you
Okay,
said, the
I just
black.
have to tell you something about these black pans. These cook up much faster
Great.
and they dry up things. So
Oh, we don't want dry.
yeah,
things.
so I wouldn't go with this one because these are specific pans. Here, this one's a stainless steel one.
Perfect.
Okay.
Beautiful. So we'll put the finished chickens in here, and then when we've got them all fried, we'll put them in the oven.
Okay, and you can dump the oil in here and we'll put it
Okay.
aside. Sorry.
It smells like chicken. Like the smell?
So, you know what? Yeah. So this chicken, yeah, you need about 15 minutes at least in the frying pan because that's how large the chicken is. Now we're gonna put them in a baking pan, and we're gonna put them in the oven. We're gonna put a pat of butter on top of each chicken breast. And are you gonna put them seam side down in the?
I think I might just put them seam side. I guess seam side down.
Yeah, just in case you don't want it to open.
Yeah.
Seam side down in the baking pan. Now, if you're a blind person, because we have to think of them. We have to think of blind people, right? This, not just the sighted. We need to think of everybody, sighted and blind. So, if you're blind and you're only making 3 or 4 chicken breasts, you've got a frying pan large enough to fit 4 of the rolled up chicken. Then just use your frying pan, drain the excess fat, be careful it's hot. Put a pat of butter on each chicken breast and then put it in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. You can try a meat thermometer to make sure that it's done, but I'm confident that 20 to 30 minutes is adequate because look how long she's been frying them for. Did you take out the first batch?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so actually we're past the 15-minute mark now. So, you know what, guys? If you're frying these for 20 minutes, your chicken is half done. Okay? Because you've been frying for so long. I know that blind people are scared to fry. But these are really big cuts of meat. It's not that hard. The flipping
You
might
can't
be
really go wrong with it, I feel like.
the flipping might be a little difficult, but practice makes perfect. And tell me when you take the first batch out so I can bring the butter.
Okay.
And we've got 3 in one pan. How many do we done in that pan?
2.
2. So 3, 5. We've only got 3 left.
Yeah.
So, how about we put everybody on hold so we can finish up frying since we're just going to put them all in a baking pan. And once we're done frying all the chicken and we put them in the pan, and we're going to come back and show you how we put the pads of butter on top and put it in the oven, and I'm going to show you the broccoli. So, You think so, Kath? Well,
Perfect.
yeah. We'll see you guys in a bit.
See you soon.
Okay, guys, we're back. All our chicken is fried up. I would say approximately 20 minutes altogether. 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how large they are. I can feel them with my hands, and it feels nice and crusty on top. So Kathy's cut up butter, just pads of butter. You're going to say to me, how much? Well, each pad of butter is the width of my finger. So thick pieces of butter, you're going to place one on each piece of chicken, right, Cal?
Yes.
Okay, so Kathy's going to finish. And while she's doing that, can you pass me the cazzarola? Actually, first pass me the cazzarola and then do what you're doing. I'm going to fill up the pot for our broccoli with water. So a nice big thick pat of butter on each chicken. We've got all the chicken into a round stainless steel pan. Now use a big pot for your broccoli. I'm using a big pot. How much water, Kath? About halfway? Because when we put the broccoli in, it's going to come
Yeah,
up.
it doesn't need a lot.
So I would say
Maybe put a little bit more.
A little bit more?
One or two, one finger.
so about 3/4 then.
Yeah.
You think a little bit more? Maybe to get it to
Sure.
there?
Yeah, sure.
How's that?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we left about 5 fingers down. And in here, Kathy wants me to drop the 1/8 cup of butter, which is 30 grams. Drop it in?
Yes, drop it in. We're going to boil the water up
Okay.
with the butter in there. That's kind of the seasoning for the, and salt for the broccoli. That's
And we
where
need-
the flavor,
yeah.
it gives the flavor of the butter, the broccoli.
How much salt would you put? Maybe a level teaspoon or half a teaspoon?
Right here, I got the teaspoon.
That one's a full teaspoon. Is that a lot?
Yeah, it seems like a lot. Maybe let's do
Sea
3/4.
salt. Sea salt isn't strong at all. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, so let's do one whole. There you go.
Well, you know, guys, it's your preference. You
Yeah,
want
it
to
is
do
your
a-
preference, and you might want juxtaposition because the chicken is going to be quite salty, even though you saw we didn't add any salt, but the prosciutto and the cheese, the mozzarella, is very salty, and the gravy too. So it is a salty dish. So then the broccoli having less salt is a nice
That's right.
juxtaposition.
So you guys can make this. You can try 1 teaspoon of sea salt. If you find that it's fine, great. If you find it too salty, the next time you make it half, right? So we've got 30 grams of salted butter, and we've got 1 teaspoon of sea salt and water in the pot. Kathy's going to put it on the burner, whichever one's empty.
And we're going to turn it up on high.
Okay.
And
Let's
then
put the chicken in the oven. Kathy's going to do it because it's her recipe. And I'm going to set the timer. Now, we feel we need the 30 minutes in the oven because
we want it to be cooked.
we want it to be cooking, and they're huge.
Yeah.
They're really thick, and I can't find my timer. Don't know what I did with it.
And she goes.
Anybody know where the timer is? All right, let's set the timer for 30. All right, 30 minutes. And now we are going to take a 30-minute break because there's nothing left to do until the chicken is ready. And at that point, we'll show you the rest of the broccoli and the gravy sauce.
And an important point about the broccoli is first we'll want the water to boil before putting in the vegetable because we like our vegetables hard. We like it al dente.
Crisp, tender.
Crisp,
We
tender.
don't like mush,
So
and we agree on that. So,
Right. So if you put your broccoli in with the cold water and bring it to a boil, it will be mushy. So like So if you don't want mush, if you're making soup, that's great to put it in. But we're not making soup, we're making dinner.
And not only that, we're basically blanching. So we want a crisp tender, right? We're gonna put it into the butter, water, and salt. But we're gonna test it out with a fork, but we think about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We like it raw.
Okay, guys, see you in about 30. Okay, guys, 30 minutes is up. We did use a meat thermometer, and we were at 170. So 165 is your safe. So Kathy's gonna take the chicken out of the oven.
What? Oh, it's so juicy looking.
And we can, are we turning off the oven?
Yeah, we'll put the potatoes in to get them warmed up.
Okay, so how about we put them in and turn off the oven? That way they'll stay warm.
Okay.
So
Can
Kathy,
they go in on the plate, or should I take the plate?
no, you can't put that plate in the oven.
Okay.
Or maybe you can for a bit.
That's okay. No, I'll just look how easy it is. Just soup.
Okay, so these potatoes are already done. We're just warming them up, and Kathy's gonna turn off the oven. You know how to turn it off?
Yes.
And turn the broccoli water on as well. All right. And we're ready to go with the sauce. So, what do we do?
Okay, so now what we're going to do, some of our guests don't care for gravy and mushrooms. So we're going to leave 3 of the chickens aside for them to just have plain without gravy and mushrooms. We can respect.
So in other words, we're gonna use the 2 cans of the gravy instead of the 3 because we're doing 3 pieces without. So
okay, so now I'm gonna move.
Choose the smallest ones for without.
Okay.
Because
Ooh, I can hear the.
So Kathy's with tongs, she's removing our chicken rolls, and she's putting them into a frying pan. How many are you going to put in the frying pan? 3?
3 in this one. I guess I could put 4. Well,
but then we
3
have
in
1.
This one,
yeah, and 2 in the other.
2 in the other.
Okay.
Okay, here's a big piece. I mean, they're all pretty big pieces. Okay. So now we've got our cooked chicken ready. Now, I don't know if I should put some of this juice, but we shall see. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this on to like pretty medium. Oops, not that one.
You're going to use the small burner?
No, I made a mistake. So I'm gonna put it to 6.
No, but which burner are you using,
I
honey?
put the top one.
This burner. No?
And this one up here too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, spaghetti.
Mom!
Technical difficulties.
Okay. So you've got, hold on for us to stop the smoke alarm. Give us a second.
It's hot in here.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of things going on, and we may have had a little spill or something. So, Kath,
Yes.
do you have chicken in this frying pan?
Yes, I put chicken in both
And you have chicken in both pans, and we've got the broccoli going on the back burner.
Water. We haven't put the broccoli in yet.
No, but we've got the water there.
But the water's hot and ready
Yeah,
to put the
okay.
broccoli
Okay,
in.
so what do we do next?
So now what we're gonna do is put the gravy. We've turned it on to pretty low, medium heat, pretty much medium. It's on number 6, and we're gonna add the gravy.
Okay, so actually she's 1 below medium. So 5 is medium, so she's got it 1 below. And you're adding the gravy. Let me add the gravy on this one.
Here you go, darling.
So, do I go on the chicken or around it?
Matter on, around.
So just kind of everywhere.
Yeah, it's gonna all get soaked in.
Is that good?
Yeah, we'll pour it all in there. Take the shower.
Okay. Now what?
Okay, perfect. So now what we're gonna do is throw in a handful of mushrooms per chicken.
Okay.
So in this pan, I'll put 3 handfuls. 1, 2, 3.
And I get to do the other one?
Can
you give me the mushrooms?
Yes, here you go.
Okay. So grab a handful
Yeah.
and just.
Just put it in the side where they'll cook with the gravy.
Oh. We didn't add the wine. Oh.
We didn't add the wine, and that, yes, the magic. We've got to
Are
add
we?
the magic.
Am I rushing?
No, that's what's next.
Okay.
And then
So how much wine are we putting? So are we gonna do the? Guys, I'm so sorry.
it's because that back burner is burning.
Yeah. Hold. Mami Kado, I'm gonna call my husband. Fati. Epidito na kami video. Ela na pagalis to yung baterya to smoke alarm. Because it's going off. So we're calling in the reinforcements, which is my husband, so he can come and take the battery out of the smoke alarm because we know we're not on fire. It's just
we
yeah.
do.
Yeah. Okay, so what
I'm gonna plate the other chicken. I'm gonna put the other chicken because all these yummy juices. I want to add some of these juices into our gravy because our gravy's pretty thick.
right? You want to thin it out a
We
bit.
can thin it out a bit with all of these buttery juices. There we go for our non-gravy loving feasters. And we'll just add some
Okay.
of this juice.
Now you add the wine in. Are you gonna do a teaspoon per frying pan?
Yes.
Okay. When I add the,
We'll do 2 teaspoons. It's a very flavorful.
it's up to you. This is your recipe.
Yeah, we'll do 2 just so you can get the flavor of it.
So in other words, it's up to you guys. You want to add a teaspoon per can of gravy? Go ahead. You want to add 2 teaspoons per can of gravy? Go ahead. It's up to you. So our
Now,
broccoli.
one thing you didn't see is I just pushed all the mushrooms into the gravy.
Yeah, I expected you to do
They're
that. I
all
didn't
around.
bother, but I
Yeah.
did expect you to do that. So while Kathy's adding in the wine, should I go ahead and add the broccoli into the water?
Well, let's do this together. This is the most special part, the wine. Let's do it together, girl. This is the secret, just the sauce.
Okay.
Here, you want the teaspoon?
Yeah, but you're gonna have to fill it for me.
Here,
How
put it
about
over
here?
okay,
Go
okay.
this way. Okay.
Okay.
Fill.
We're gonna put 2 of these puppies in.
Well,
2, yeah.
that's 2.
That counts as 2. What? Eager beaver. You can smell it already, I think.
And you do the other one.
Okay.
So Kathy overfilled my teaspoon and a whole bunch fell into the frying pan. So
Yes.
that makes 2 teaspoons.
That makes 2 teaspoons. But this really gives it a flavor to savor. And the broccoli, now I'm going to put it in with the florets facing down.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, it smells like my daddy's kitchen right now. The marsala. Oh, the florets are just jumping back up. Oh my gosh, it smells like your daddy's kitchen. It smells so good.
What's your dad's name?
John.
John.
Yeah.
Hey, John, we're making your recipe.
Shout out. Okay, I'm gonna flip the cordon bleu now because some of it's gotten to sit in the gravy, so we
Right.
want to make sure all the chicken gets to sit in the gravy. And we'll just let it catch a simmer in a...
So you guys saw she let them mushrooms, marsala, gravy. It's all in the pan around the chicken. And now she's gonna flip over her chicken rolls to let them sit for another, whatever, 2, 3, 4 minutes.
I mean, they looked prettier when I didn't flip them.
That's okay. It's gonna be
Still
pretty in the
look pretty.
stomach.
It's gonna be pretty good.
And how are you gonna test our broccoli for tender crispness? Are you
We'll
going
use
to?
a fork.
Yeah, that's what I would
Yeah.
do. So we're on the
Should we
same.
time it?
you know what? This is a preference thing. So I wouldn't.
Okay.
Because what we like, let's say we like our broccoli at 5 minutes, somebody else might say, no, I need 7. Or whatever, 4. Somebody might like them almost raw, 3. You know, who
Yes.
knows?
I'm gonna cover it. You're right.
This is a preference thing. The point is that you've got your broccoli in this water and butter. So when the broccoli's ready, are you going to, are you going to strain them? Are you going to just lift the broccoli out and put it on the plate?
Yeah, typically lift it, give it a little, like you hold the kabaki in Greek, the top of the thing.
The cap of the
The
pot?
cap of the pot, and then you can lift it, kind of strain it, and hold it on there while you take it to a plate to plate it onto
Yeah,
the plate.
yeah.
But yeah, strain.
So
we
in
can
other
even
words,
we can even
guys-
just strain the water out the sink, holding on to the pot. It's how your comfort level is.
That's
You
right.
can put it in a strainer, however you wish.
So again, guys, whatever you feel. If you want to use like tongs or something to just grab your broccoli out of the water when you feel that you've reached the tenderness you like, you can do that. You can strain the water, like you can use a strainer. It's up to you. Yeah. So we're
Something you didn't see me just do is I'm just test checking the mushrooms. You want them to be soft. So I just poked it with the fork, and it's hard. I mean, you don't need them to be soft. Again, it's preference, but I'm used to them being soft.
me
It's
too.
not like
So
that.
here you go.
Yeah, there we
We're
go.
again on the same page.
Yay!
Yeah, so broccoli tender crisp, but mushrooms soft.
Yeah, soft and soggy.
Okay, because I want those mushrooms to soak up all that gravy, marsala, chicken juice, butter stuff.
Deliciousness. We're gonna sleep well tonight after this.
Yeah, so in other words, guys, when we say goodbye to you, we are going to eat up a storm.
And go into a coma. Food coma.
Yeah, food coma.
No desensitivity to people experiencing people in
Of
comas,
course
I'm
not.
sure.
We're just joking.
Sure.
But you know what? This chicken, this is, I think, this is low in carbohydrates.
Yes,
So I'm
it
a
is.
type 2 diabetic, and I can eat all of that because I'm eating really one slice of cheese.
Yes.
The chicken's got very little carbohydrates. Gravy's got carbohydrates because of the way gravy is made, of course, with flour. So it's got some carbohydrates. Okay, I'm not going to go crazy on the gravy. So this is it's a delicious, but it can be, I can consider it a healthy dish as well. Because you've got your vegetables, we've got our broccoli, we've got our baked potatoes, we've got our mushrooms.
And it's really chicken breast. So, and you know, you could have, if you're trying to be less on the butter, like you can add just a tad of butter. You could do without butter. Obviously, the butter just makes it gives it that sweetness. And you know, you could put a little gravy, a lot of gravy.
That's
It's really
right,
what
that's
you
right.
feel like.
That's right.
And if you don't get the big chicken breasts, let's say you can only find the small chicken breasts, you could still fillet those, open them up, and use 2 to try to make your roll. 2
Or
pieces.
even just less prosciutto and less cheese.
Yeah.
Maybe do, you know, half a slice of cheese and half a slice of prosciutto. Like,
Yeah.
you know, why not, right?
Yeah, it's whatever.
But of course you would cook it for less time, guys. You were doing a small chicken breast. You're not going to fry it for 20 minutes and then 30 minutes in the oven. That's 50 minutes in total. If it's a smaller piece, you might, you know, fry for 10 minutes and do 20 minutes in the oven or something like that. But again, use a meat thermometer. Use a meat thermometer. It'll help you. So how's the
Okay,
broccoli?
Well, the broccoli feels right to me, and the chicken really is pretty much done. The longer we leave it, the thicker the gravy, but I think the gravy is at a
Check the
pretty
mushrooms.
good thickness. Oh yeah, the mushrooms.
Check the mushrooms.
Yeah, we gotta
Sure.
make them soft. They're a little bit hard still, so we'll give them a little bit more.
Okay, I'm just gonna grab a plate in the meantime. So before we say goodbye to you guys, I'm gonna try to set up a plate for you while Kathy's letting those mushrooms soften up. You want to grab
And
me?
you know, if by accident you put too much of the juices in your gravy, or you could probably have even turned this into kind of a gravy, but if you put too many of the juices, you could always mix a little cornstarch in water and put a little cornstarch water in
Yeah,
there.
so I'll do a slurry.
thicken
You want to
it,
grab me a potato? So while that's just finishing up, so Kathy's
Love to. I know.
gonna grab a potato out of the oven.
Woohoo! Hot
Oh.
potato.
Did you just?
I just dropped the potato.
Did you not grab it with a glove?
I did.
Oh, okay,
That's
but
my
it just
problem.
slipped.
It probably would have stayed if I did it without one.
Put it on here.
I'm gonna open it.
Okay,
for
open
you.
it. Okay.
So when we folded them with the shiny side in,
Yep.
so that the heat.
I'm
goes
actually
in.
gonna cut this one in half because when I eat, I want my gravy to go all over the potato. And I want my skin. Some people don't like skin potato. I do. So our potato is very nice and tender and it's open. So you want to use the tongs maybe to get a
So
broccoli.
Here we go. I have a fork actually. I'm comfortable with the
Okay,
fork, even though
whatever
it's a
you
little
want.
bit hot. So now I've lifted it out of the water. I give it a little bit of a drip and put it into. I can carry it over like that. You can see the water all kind of running off.
Careful.
Give it a little taparoo, and you shouldn't end up with much water in the plate when you do it like that.
Let me see how tender it is. Ooh. Yeah, it's tender, guys.
Perfect?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, broccoli, potato. Now we're waiting for the chicken.
All right. Here it comes. I'm just going to get a ladle.
Mana, I'm just asking my mom. ¿Hiciste patatula? Dice que asoji, mamá. Okay. So mom wants
Alright.
just broccoli.
So I think this is the absolute prettiest one. This one's really pretty too. I'm really having a hard time which one to plate. But most of them are in this shape, so I'll just plate this one because this is a little, I don't know. Let's do this one. Here we go. I'm going to turn off all my heat because everything is done. Now,
And you know what?
for
If
the
the,
pièce de résistance,
add a little bit of
the gravy and
gravy and the mushrooms.
And
And
your
then
potato too, right, girl?
for me, yes.
And there we go.
Okay, leave them on the burners while we say our goodbyes, and we'll set up all the other plates for everybody else.
Okay.
Alrighty, come over here.
All right.
So guys, I hope we didn't confuse you guys too much, but we sure did have fun. Ta-da! And this is our meal, broccoli in butter. It's actually boiled up with butter. We've got potatoes with the gravy, mushroom, an easy shortcut. Just use canned gravy. You can make your own. Chicken, cordon bleu, cheese. When we cut that chicken that's smothered in gravy and mushrooms, and the cheese is going to ooze out, and it's absolutely delicious. I thank you so much for coming on my show.
I thank you for having me.
I thank you for
More
this
hugs.
delicious recipe. I can't wait for you to be on my show again.
Next time, veal parmigiana and garlic bread.
She promised.
Yes.
She said it live. You saw it here
It's
first.
gotta happen.
Veal parmigiana and garlic bread.
Yes.
Cameras don't lie. YouTube doesn't lie. You just got, yeah. Okay, so obviously we're doing another episode with Kathy. We're going to go off and have dinner now. Again, I hope we didn't confuse you guys too much. It is a pretty easy recipe. The only hard part is butterflying the chicken. Tip for the blind. If you have a butcher that you shop for frequently, ask him to butterfly it for you. No big deal.
Yeah, easy.
Say, I want skinless, boneless chicken breasts. Please trim the fat and butterfly them for me. And then you know what? You go home, maybe pound them a little bit. You can even
Take
ask
out
her,
any frustration.
even ask the butcher to pound them for you if you want, if he wants, or if you want, and go home and then you're ready to roll with your prosciutto and your mozzarella and do the rest of the recipe. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I feel like I have to thank Kathy one more time because I'm ecstatic that we're having dinner together. I'm ecstatic that she was here. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
And again, if you need to reach me, you know the deal. Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner at gmail.com. Whose blind life is it anyway? At gmail.com. Don't forget to comment in the section below. We love you. See you on the next episode. Bye from me and from Kathy. Bye. I am your host, Zoe Fiogos. With sincere love and gratitude, I thank you for watching Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner.